All right, it is another episode of Proantagcast. My name is Intrinzik, also known as Will Glass there on Facebook. We got a special guest today, Necrotic, all the way from the Midwest, Michigan to be exact. He's been on numerous UGH projects, including the mixtapes, including all the Toy Gories so far. So without further ado, before we bring him on, though, this is a podcast dedicated to my new album, Proantagonist. You can hear the new single on YouTube right now. We're doing pre-orders on UGH Store right now. So go ahead and check those out. If you want to be on the album, hit up undergroundhustlin@gmail.com. You want to be on the podcast, hit up undergroundhustlin@gmail.com or just hit me up, Facebook, Intrinzik 6T7. So without further ado, let's bring on my homie Necrotic.
Hey, what up, INT?
What is cracking, bro? Let me turn you up a little bit here. How are you, my friend?
Been doing pretty good, man. Did a Replicon radio interview last night. Been chugging away at that new song for UGH 76 and got that popping, sending over to you this week. And I'm stoked, man. Been awesome working with y'all, and I'm just got the blood flowing, man.
Your room looks like quite the fun house. You got all sorts of, what is that, CDs or comic books?
I got Batman comics up on the wall. I got
nice.
my Chucky behind me.
Nice.
From Puppet Master. I got Mikey over here.
Wow. You need to make your bed, though.
Yeah. Okay.
I ain't trying to sound like your mom, but you had the camera angled so we wouldn't see your bed.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got a lot to talk about. Let's go back, like way back. What got you into rapping? What was your first sort of like, was Necrotic always the name? Like, were you in a group originally? Like, give us your backstory first, and then we can start looking at the future of Necrotic.
Well, originally when I was younger, I was doing a lot of small punk projects and hard rock projects, and then went into heavy metal and death metal with the group Archon, with my buddies back then, Paul and Austin. We had about 4 or 5 songs, and unfortunately, we didn't make it as a band. And after that, I became homeless for a bit. And time went on, and I started crashing on couches, couch hopping, and one day, I finally got a trailer with my homie Rob, who was the guitarist on my first project, the XP. And I got a note plastered on my door from some pissed off neighbors because I went 2 miles per hour over the speed limit. And for some reason, that pissed me off enough to write my first rap song at 7 a.m. before work. And I wrote Trailer Park Tragedy on my couch and recorded it on the GarageBand on my phone. Sent it to Rob, and he's like, hey, man, you could do something with this. And my nickname's always been Freako, but I came up with Necrotic because necrotic means like dying flesh type deal. So it was like killing the old me and bringing in the new. So that's where that came from.
Wow, that's a lot. So let's go back. You were homeless.
Yes.
Explain, like, how did that happen?
That happened because I was going around fucking around with all my friends and shit. And I kind of got into an argument with my dad and my stepmother and got home. It was because they asked me what time I was getting home at night, and I was 19 at the time. And it was like, all I said in the text message was I'm getting home at 9 o'clock. And everybody threw a fucking hissy fit about it. And so in that weird moment, I was just like, you know what? I'm over
9 a.m. or p.m.?
p.m. But
that seems like a pretty decent curfew for a legal adult, right?
That's what I thought. So I kind of got mad about it. And I was like, you know what? If I'm going to get fucking shit on for this and being told that I'm being disrespectful for this, fuck that. I'm going to pack my shit and leave. And so after that, I left and I went to my mom's house, only to find out that only about 2 months after I'd stopped going to my mom's house, she had gotten rid of my whole room. And her boyfriend was renovating my room and all my shit was gone.
Okay.
I feel comfortable staying there. So I chose to be homeless in a way.
Okay.
I don't feel comfortable being either place. So I'm just going to live in my car and not tell anybody. So I was doing my laundry at my grandma's house. Even she didn't know for like a year and a half, 2 years, until I told her about it at Thanksgiving dinner one year. It kind of slipped out. She's like, "You were homeless?" I was like, "Well, yeah." She goes, "Well, you could have stayed here." I was like, "For some reason, I just wanted to busk, man. I just wanted to
Well,
do."
I mean, there's something to be said about wanting to be independent, not having to deal with other people's rules and all that shit. So, yeah, dude. So, you were crashing on couches. Were you working or just hustling, like trying to get money here and there?
I was working. I was just being a dishwasher at where I work now for
Oh,
about 8 years now. I work at Palermo Pizzeria and Restaurant in Canton, and I was just dishwashing there. And thankfully, I went to a party one time at my buddy's apartment, and I was sitting outside smoking a cigarette or something back when I smoked cigarettes. No, but he came out and he's like, "Hey, man, if you need a place to crash, you can crash here and just pay me $40 a month to sleep on the couch."
whew.
And I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude, like, you're the shit, you saved my ass." So I lived there for about 3 or 4 years, and again, trying to do there, just doing some acoustic projects and stuff. But eventually the place, my buddy Parker moved out, who initially got me in there, and we had like 8 or 9 people staying in this fucking 2 bedroom apartment at some point.
Wow.
And yeah, it was a wild ride, man. And
I mean, it's pretty dope, like having pretty much no rent and having a income coming in. Like you can just kind of do whatever you want with your money instead of just dumping it into your rent. So, trailer park tragedy, that like birth necrotic, right? And this was how long ago do you think you did your first song?
I wrote
Rap song.
in 2017, but the album came out in 2018. So it's been,
Okay, so you're kind of new. Like 5 years isn't like that, you know.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like I've been doing it forever. So, um, what was like the first real moment where you're like, oh, this is more than just like a hobby? Like you must like. Did you get a show or did you get some sort of like, what was that moment where you're like, like this is kind of what I'm going to do for, uh, a full time, even if it's a passion, like what was that moment?
It was definitely the Fuck Cancer 3 show at
Okay.
Dark, and that was also, I believe, of 2018 after the album had come out. And at this point, like, a lot of people gave me shit, especially when, like, being from the metal scene, and I was like, "Yo, I'm rapping now." Everybody's like, "No, you're not, dude. You can't rap. Fuck that. That's not you." All this other shit. And I played this Fuck Cancer 3 show with my homie Sparrow. Shout out Sparrow. And it just changed my view on everything, man. I felt so good after getting off stage, and I'm a introverted ass person, man. Like I didn't have that much confidence growing up and shit. And after that, just playing that one set and having so many people come up to me and be like, "Hey, man, I felt the shit you were spitting. That was dope." It really like lit a fire under my ass, And I was like, you know what? Maybe I am meant to do this, and I can make this work. And after that, just started fucking grinding away, doing shit with y'all, pushing the new album, all that good shit. And it's been nothing but blessings from here on out, man. And I couldn't be any more grateful for all the shit going on. Like it changed my life definitely for the better.
Well, that's dope because it's always like hearing that your music impacted someone else, that makes it worth pursuing. If you get a fan saying, "Oh, this song changed my life," or "I listen to your music when I'm depressed," or blah blah blah. It's like you feel like obligated to keep going. People tattoo their shit on your body. You're like, "Shit, I can't ever quit now." So cool. So as far as like shows, performances, are you doing local stuff? Have you gone out of state, done bigger things out of state, or what?
Out of state one time for one of the Night of the Brimstones for my homies at the Brimstone Labs. Shout out Brimstone Labs. Love you guys. And they always have me on shit. We went to the Polish Ostrich during the start of the pandemic where like everywhere was closed down here.
Right.
Polish Ostrich was still doing shows. So I went there, which was just in Ohio. It wasn't that far out of state.
Right.
I went there, played that, and ever since then I've just been doing local shit. Played a bunch of shows at Simon's After Dark. A lot of Halloween shows. I love playing Halloween shows. My favorite fucking thing. Doing more Night of the Brimstone shit this year at Homebum Manor, and fucking forgetting the second place. God damn it, someplace in Ipsy. But I've been doing that, and I'm playing at the Old Miami for. Here's what I'm really excited for: the Grotesque and Burlesque show. I got asked to rap at a burlesque show.
Nice.
That's a whole fucking thing I haven't done before, and that's gonna be September 2nd at the Old Miami in Detroit. So mainly all shit in Michigan.
Yeah.
But, you know, if there's ever a chance for me to go outside the state to rap, I totally will.
It seems like you're, staying busy, doing your thing. What was the first UGH project you were on? Was it?
It was strictly for my ninjas. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was, oh, yeah. Okay. And that was the song with me and
Just Noise and
Just Noise and Lex. Yeah. So, man, both of y'all you and Noise have come a long way since then. So, okay, I'm going to pull this up because obviously we got a big obsession with Chucky. Let's go. Like, you were in the Toy Gory 2, you had Chucky. You picked Chucky here for, I'm going to move up, UGH 76. So explain the Child's Play obsession.
So Child's Play, besides Halloween with my boy Mikey to the right of me, it was the first horror movie I had seen. And for some reason, I was terrified of Chucky. Maybe that's why I love it so much. Petrified as a kid. I had a Chucky doll when I was younger. My grandma got it for me. And I was so stoked on it. And she went up in my ear and whispered, and she was like, if you're bad, he'll come to life and he'll get you. And it fucked me up so bad. I hid it in my closet, and she would come in at night and slide the closet a little bit open just so I could see it. And
that's a mean grandma right there.
She's dope as shit, but goddamn, does she have fun tormenting me? But so in a weird way, I love it so much because it scared the shit out of me, and I always loved his dark humor and his laugh. There's something to be admired about the guy who does fucked up shit, but he loves it so much. He's having a fun fucking time doing him and doing what he loves to do, which is fuck people up in as many ways possible. And I've always had a blast watching it. Even the shitty movies, like Seed of Chucky, that movie fucking sucks. But probably about 700 times. Yeah.
So, I see your shirt there, and I don't know if it's a Jason shirt.
It is a Jason shirt.
That was my first horror. I'm probably a lot older than you, so that was my first. Was the original Friday.
Hell yeah.
And it's not that movie isn't very scary, but the end part when they're in the boat, right, and then Jason comes up.
Yeah.
That's just because I was like, God, 10 years old, something ridiculous, 9 or 10, and I'll never forget that scene. So, the impact that these movies have on us is crazy how long it stays,
Well, there's some shit that you just don't expect, like Jason jumping out of the water, fucking
right.
We're doing the I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy, and his tongue comes out of the phone.
Yeah.
And for me with Chucky, it was Karen turning around and figuring out that there's no batteries in the doll. So she's fire, and she just goes, "Talk to me, goddammit, or I'm gonna throw you in the fire." And he looks at her and he just goes, "You stupid bitch, you filthy slut." And I fucking died laughing. Still, I die laughing to that scene.
Yeah.
It's.
So, that's great. So it looks like you got a dope setup in your room. You're doing shows like from the homeless era to now. You seem like a pretty happy guy, well-rounded, doing music. I see the pizza shit you're posting. It looks pretty epic. So I don't usually go here with these artists, but what's your formula for a happy, well-balanced life?
Happy, well-balanced life.
Or am I just assuming you have a happy, well-balanced life?
It's pretty well balanced. I got my days, but I'd say just honestly, just do what the fuck you want as long as you're not fucking people over 24/7. You know, sometimes you gotta do you, be a little selfish. Like, hey, I can't do this today. I got this thing going on. But other than that, dude, as long as you keep yourself happy at the end of the day, doing whatever it is, whether it be reading, drawing, fucking taking the time out to go on a walk with your dog, all that shit.
Yeah.
That's kind of all you need, and don't take shit so heavy into the heart when things don't work out. Because there was a moment in time when it was like, even if someone back then didn't like my music, I would take it so hard. It's like, man, what am I not doing right? Even if it was one person out of 25 who was like, you know, the 25 were like, yo, your shit's dope. But that one person was like, nah, man, not my thing. You shouldn't be doing this. And I would fucking fixate on that. And it really brought me down. And there comes to a point where as long as you know what you're doing and your intuition tells you what you got to do, I say follow it. And if you make mistakes, everybody makes mistakes. So don't be so yourself, I guess.
It's a pretty, you know, it's crazy how, you know, you could have 100 fans and then the one person just, you don't focus on the people saying you're dope, your shit's dope. You're focusing on the one person, and it just, you know, with the UGH thing, it's like, I got like all these artists like loving what we do. And then there's always like, it's like once every year, right? Someone will post this thing about UGH and it'll just like ruin my whole like week.
Right.
And then I'll like look at like, and it's always Stir Crazy who tells me, he's like, yo, did you see what? So I don't even look at Facebook really. And nor do I follow haters, but he'll be like, did you see what so-and-so said? I'm like, no, I don't want to know. And then I'll be like, oh, just show me. And then he'll show me and I'll like go to the guy's page and then I'll hit message. And we've been messaging for like 10 years. And it's like, it's always like the person who was like all interested forever. And then like there was one particular person who said something and I was like looking back and I'm like, dude, I gave this guy advice on so many different things, like when I was doing smoothie recipes and all this and just telling him. And then he just comes out of nowhere and fucking, you know, says UGH is this and that. And I'm like, it's just always some weird shit, man. You know what I'm saying?
One
Like
of that, like, you on kind of like, you know, you do all this shit for somebody and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, either you got some advice they don't like or like they all of a sudden don't want to pay somebody for, which I never got because it's a business, you know, in general.
right.
Y'all got bills to pay. But somebody will get all angry and butthurt about it and be like, oh man, I'm worth way more than this, which, you know, it's good to feel self-worth, but to shoot shots at people who were giving you advice the entire time and gave you, you know, that shit ain't right. So
yeah. So what can we expect from, I don't think I've heard the song yet.
not yet. I'm recording it this week. It's a little weird, I'm gonna tell you that, but I think you'll like it. I really think you'll like it.
So Merciless was a pretty dope song.
Yeah, and this is actually going off. You know how I was like, man, I don't know if I should go full rap on this, and you're like, yo, dude, go like metal as fuck on it.
Yeah.
Thank you for the advice. I'm gonna kind of make it almost like a bridge or a sequel to Merciless, so it's gonna be in kind of the same vein of
Right.
stuff, but gonna sound completely different. But there's gonna be a lot of metal vocals in there.
It's a Rammstein.
Rammstein, yes.
So you sampled that.
Yeah.
That's okay. So
Sonne.
it seems like more than the average underground artist, you have a more conceptual based approach to your, not just to your songwriting, but to everything you do as a whole. You know, a lot of rappers, they just, you know, you just spit bars and then you put a chorus with it and spit bars and the chorus. And so you seem to like really think things out from like the beat selection to the, you know, the concept, the lyrics, and then how you're approaching the vocal. Is that just how you naturally write songs, or do you like sit there and think things out like a little bit?
I feel like with the way I got to write songs is the conceptual route, because for some reason that's always been the storytelling style of rap and stuff like that, as long as I have a concept to go off of and I have that one point to focus on, it's a lot easier for me to move and groove with it.
Right.
But like if somebody told me to write a song which was just straight up rap and I'm just coming out with punchlines left and right, I can do it, but to me it lacks direction, and I like to have that kind of, course of a journey, kind of like King Diamond does with his heavy metal shit, how each album is an entire story. And I'm
Right.
a big fan of that approach. So most are loosely based stories, and I follow these points in my head and I try to guide it out. There are a couple songs where, like, if I'm featured on something, I'll just straight spit because it's one verse, like I did with Underground Soldier, even though that was still
Right.
had a, but
Yeah.
you know what, I'm on this shit with INT and Whitney and THC. Let's fucking go. Just rip
Right.
that. But,
and that's even more exciting when instead of a whole song or a whole album, you just have to do 16 bars. And then you can really just, I feel like dudes like Eminem, like just sometimes one of his verses is just like more impressive than like an entire discography of some like,
yeah, you
average rapper.
Yeah.
Because he in putting an album's worth of attention into one verse is like, and your quality is always really crispy. Like Dahmer, is that Daniel Dahmer? Is that who mixed, or Trey Pound, or
Trey Pound, and Trey Pound, everybody, and he great work, and I love the guy. Shout out Chop Shop and shout out Danny D. Them's my homies. But the dude who does the Toy Gory stuff,
the
video, all that, and the that would be Slick Rick at 5 in Canton. And he actually recorded my dad back in the day when my dad was doing hard rock vocals and shit.
Nice.
So I've known him since I was like 7 years old. And I like going to him because everything I do from him, being the Toy Gory thing, it's all one take. Because he's like, I know you can do it. And even if I fuck up a little bit, he'll be like, no, man, like come back here. We'll listen to it again. I'll be like, try doing this. And he'll give me not criticisms, but like, what's it called? Constructive criticism.
Right. So you use a different guy just for your Toy Gory verses or the video?
The verses, some of the Lex the Hex thing, I used him.
Okay.
Go on UGH70, I used him. The crispier sounding things is normally from him, and that's normally go for my features because I love the way how he can sound thing, and he's got a lot of can't get anymore, so I go to him. Because actually, fun fact, one of the plugins he uses, which is how I get my larynx on the dime, is one that Eminem used to use back in the day when he first started. You know how Eminem used to double up his shit super hard, always be snappy?
Yeah.
The place where that was made actually went straight up literally underground from an earthquake, and you can't get these plugins anymore. And when he showed me that and how he's lining them up and doing the EQ, I was like, that's that shit. That's that shit I want all the time.
I remember when we were mixing the Merciless, we used all your stems because we were like, I don't even know half these plugins. Like, how did you get that sound? So, yeah, like it's just those little details. A lot of rappers or even any sort of musicians, they don't put those little touches on their stuff, and it make yours, it's just more personal and unique to Necrotic. So like, big shout out. Like, you seem to source the best, which makes me feel good about what I do, because I think UGH is the best of what we do, and then you pick the best guys in your area to shoot your video and to make your vocals and do your mixes. So shout out to you for like putting the extra time, extra money into your art, because at the end of the day, it's like when you're dead and gone, your art's forever. And so how do you want to, when you if you're having kids or whatever, but like my kids are gonna, eventually they're gonna have like boxes full of my LPs and CDs.
All the records.
Probably throw it away, but like with my videos, I want to, I include my kids like in the video shoot, and like so like at least digitally, like they'll have. I remember like my wife was like, I showed her the dinosaur video, and she's like, I have nothing. I'm gonna have nothing for them to remember me by, not like obviously like they're gonna remember her for like
Mama.
yeah, like being their mom and doing all the mom shit, laundry, like taking them play. But like, I know what she meant. Like she meant like they're gonna remember. Like they can put this shit on. Like if you're ever dead or whatever, gone, and like uh, have an experience with your art. So I mean, at the end of the day, like you want to leave some quality stuff like behind, So yeah, shout out for doing everything there. So what's the future? I know you said an album.
Yeah, I got the inverted collective coming out hopefully by this December. It's got a lot of heavy hitters on it and all my homies. It's got Daniel Dahmer, it's got Merciless on it with Jamie Madrox, track with ABK, Swing D Diablo from the Brimstone Labs, Black Magic the Infidel, Ghost of Detroit Underground, Whitney Payton, Gibby Stites, Run from Run DMC, Gucci Mane's on it. Fucking
What?
yeah, right? Yeah.
Is
And
that did you get exclusives from them?
yeah, it was exclusives. I got contracts all written up on my computer and shit like that.
And you have the shit in your hands.
Yes, it's all in my hands. It's already
Wow.
got about 15 songs right now, but I'm shooting for over 20. I want to make it a long album so I can take a little break for a while. But yeah. I'm gonna have trying to get Ritz on there and shit like that, but money's a little tight. But this next H76 is gonna be on there, and Kill a Priest is on there. You're on there technically from the
Lex
Soldier remix that I'm gonna.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, I got a whole bunch of shit going on. So
did you do that remix yet?
I asked him about it. I haven't sent him the money for it yet. He said he got the BPMs all mapped out and stuff. I got to talk to him about how the actual track's going. But I was gonna message him about that probably later on today.
Cool.
Going, but
well, I can finally say I'm on an album with Run and Gucci Mane.
There you go.
Like that's pretty dope.
Fuck yeah.
So that's like a full length album. That's
probably gonna be long, something like that.
Nice. Well, shows. You got shows coming up.
Yeah, I got a Homebum Manor show, the Hexus show coming up in July 30th. The pre-gathering show on the 31st at the same place.
Are you gonna go to the gathering?
No, I wanted to really fucking bad, but I gotta work. But much love to all the fam going out there and gather super fucking hard for me.
Yeah.
And Grotesque and Burlesque show with Suicide Saints, Mama Witch, HB the Grizzly. That's on September 2nd. The Seeds of Evil tour with the Brimstone Labs. It's illegal. And I think Big Sneak's playing that shit too, Shot Sneak. And other than that, we got Toy Gory 3 coming soon, we're super stoked for. And
so you got HB the Grizzly. She's from out there?
Yeah, HB, I've known her since high school. She's super, super dope people.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of know. I was actually hitting her up to do a female thing, and she's like, it didn't end up working because her voice is a little too deep for what I was going for, but she was super sweet, super nice. And her music's like, I don't know her personally, other than those little exchanges, but her music's crazy.
Yeah, dude, she's really killer. Those vocal sounds, she's super genuine too. My thing is, I kind of used to, still look up to her, obviously, but we played a few shows together, and the way she works the crowd and moves them and like has a positive ass message.
Yeah.
I'm really down with how she does that. So seeing her play and working with her is always great. She's gonna be on the Inverted collection too on kind of song. But yeah, man, it's this whole thing's been fucking sick. I love doing
it. Dope, man. You just seem so stoked, man. So I'm happy for you. I got Jay Rhodes said great interview last night. Also, Ninja.
Hey, word up.
And then David Windsor said I found Dark Half and Gino cult shit last year. So I don't know if that's directed towards either one of us or just saying he's down with the underground.
I think he's staying down with the underground. Well, the underground's welcome to have you, man. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man. Welcome, David. Welcome, Jay. Anything else you want to say before we shut down here today, Mr. Necrotic?
Just keep your eyes peeled for Toy Gory 3. Shit's gonna be baller as fuck with the homie INT over here. Everybody on that shit. Void's on it. The homie the HOF, who I also want to get on the album. Haven't talked to him about that yet, but I'll be hitting him up soon. And so get ready for that. And to all fans out there, all my juggalos, all my ninjas, word up, whoop whoop. Y'all make this shit worth it. And even to anybody who doesn't fuck with me, and you listen to one song and you're like, it's not my thing, at least y'all gave it a try, and I still love the shit out of you and hope you have a good day.
All right, man. Thank you so much to Necrotic. Where links there can check you out? Give us some of those links.
Links, my Facebook is facebook.com/criticize this. My Instagram/N3KR0T1K. I know it's kind of it's gonna be.
Why do I always put an exclamation point?
Because normally it's an exclamation point, but like my Facebook won't let me do an exclamation point. Let me, so I got to do the one.
Okay.
And Spotify is the exclamation point. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, so official is exclamation, right?
Exclamation
for all the printing and all that.
Yeah.
Well, Necrotic, thank you so much for being here. Thanks to everyone who tuned in. Again, Proantagonist coming soon. I'm trying to get September, maybe October release. Just a couple updates here. I used a new company to do the UGH 75 vinyls. So when y'all get the UGH 75 vinyls before the 74 vinyls, don't trip. The 74s are coming next month. But I got the 75s way quicker because I guess this new company is better. I'm also kind of scared that they're going to suck.
Oh, so I'm fives this week, not the 74s.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, like the 75s were like lapped the 74s. So, Jesse, they're going to hit. Anyway, we're going to get them, I hope, on Friday. And then when I know they're solid, send them all out. They should be. Like all the people who use this company say good things. Yep, David, art will be there after you're dead. So when I set the pre-orders up for 75, it's coming. And then 74s are coming. We just used a different supplier. They take like 9 to 10 months now. So I had to look somewhere else because I do want to keep the vinyls pumping, but not if it takes a year. If it takes a few months, awesome. So vinyls are pumping. Everything else is coming through. So if you want to be part of this project, if you want to be on this podcast, you know where to find me. You know where to find Necrotic now. So y'all have a blessed day. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we out. Peace.
Deuces.